everybody. Oh, well, that's not a good start. Hang on. Well, I don't know. Can you hear me, Zombie Grub? Yes, no? Hello? Okay. Well, we're technically live.
Okay.
Say a couple of words.
Am I not saying a couple words?
You are now. Okay.
Oh.
So, oh boy, my web camera is not turning on. And normally plugging it and unplugging it works. Let me... Does it have the wrong device selected, maybe? Hang on, why is this being such a butthole right now? Let's try. Put up. Oh, that made the music hiccup. That makes me paranoid already. Oh, but it worked. And it's not at all balanced. Oh, god damn it. Alright, well, hello and good morning for the most part, guys. I'll try and get my webcam fixed up in a sec. It is so freaking cold in my room. I just googled. The weather outside is like 10 Fahrenheit, and it feels that way in my room, even though it might not quite be there.
Korea was like 17 Fahrenheit.
Nice. Where's global warming when you need it? Am I right?
Right, guys? Like, it's all a lie.
Well, that's not where I was going. I just meant it'd be nice to be fucking warm outside. But okay, so that's fixed. Great. I'll deal with my camera white balance issues in a second. We do have the bracket pretty much made up at this point. Looks like Scarlet checked in for once, which is super cool.
And no regret. Oh my god.
You got Bunny, Monty, Super. Oh, Jokshi's actually checked in. That's awesome.
Yeah, and Zest's checked in.
Cool. Again. Bottom side might actually be great to follow. KeeN vs TAiLS right away, because TAiLS has actually been playing like a madman lately. So have that going to the winner versus Zest. I think that sounds pretty awesome. Later on, round 3, Hush versus Scarlet.
We already have a walkover? How is that possible?
Somebody checked in order to say I don't want to be checked in.
Yeah, right.
Alright,
Maybe.
so let's do KeeN TAiLS without a doubt. That leads into Zest. That's going to be a great series there. Then above that, we've got possibly Solar versus Alive. Scarlet versus Hush. There's actually a lot of really great round of 8 matches.
Yeah. No, this is a cool bracket.
This is a cool bracket.
Chill.
I have to, man, I really don't like this new dashboard on Twitch, guys. Give me a sec here. I gotta figure out how to turn things on and off and all that. Also, where's my webcam on here so I can change so I don't look so blue? I literally look like I'm frozen on stream. I've got hypothermia, guys. Donate money to save Rifkin. Don't let him die of hypothermia. Is it video input? Yeah. I'll zoom in a bit my face. What's up, you beautiful bastards? Follow my face. How's that work? No, that's not.
Where are they?
Where's who?
Both of them. KeeN and TAiLS.
Oh, maybe.
Am I blind?
I don't see them on my friends list. I mean, they checked in, right? I don't know. 1 sec. I gotta figure out my.
There's a guy's name. One guy's name is Starcraft 2 Gosu. Literally what he is in Hangul.
Nice. There's the white balance. Maynard, did you ever hear my rap I made for you, Dick? Yo, I made I made Maynard I made a really sick rap on Twitter, dude. And his response was, "It's not loading for me. I guess it's for the best." Fuck you, dude. I hope you had a horrible time, and I am. Also, you're a butt, and I'm just kidding. I hope you're great, and I love your face.
Okay, KeeN is the Gosu.
Why?
I don't know, but he is.
Maybe it has something to do with like the whole joint adventure between him and Alive on Twitch. That's certainly something worth discussing. But hey, guys, before we even get going with the day, I gotta give a good morning to all those who might be watching for the first time and those who are coming back for Make Korea Great Again. Lots of good Starcraft matches ahead of us tonight, but of course we have to make this worthwhile for everybody. So technically, oh, I forgot to donate the initial $100. That's gonna be awkward. Let's go do that real quick. How do I add funds to my Matcherino account? I gotta look in how to do this again. Okay, well, I'll fiddle with this in a second. I was going to mention, though, we do have the Matcherino site set up for today, so Make Korea Great Again number 3. If you guys use the code MKGA3 on the website, you will add $1 to the prize pool. We've already had 15 people do this before even announcing it, so thank you guys for being on top of things. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, though, type !Matcherino in chat and take a look for yourselves. I, in the meantime, have to figure out why... I can't remember how to do funds. Where's it? It's in your account settings, right? Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so I don't know who TAiLS would be, but I'm being told that apparently the new patch changed the way that the names are portrayed.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I see someone has a barcode with all capital L's. Do you see that too?
Yeah, but it's not like a graphical change. It's that they changed it so that your real ID actually shows up, I guess, instead of your username now. Okay. So I mean, it was dumb in the first place that was the case. We'd had like two names depending on if you friended someone or not.
Yeah, yeah.
But now it also means that I guess a lot of people's names are different, so it'll take a while to get everyone's names changed again, or to even remember who everyone is. I don't know.
Well, as long
I
as...
actually don't have anyone else friended though, so I think I'm okay.
Well, I was gonna say, because yeah, I just realized I didn't even check, but that's KeeN in the lobby for me.
Oh, he's KeeN in the lobby. Yeah, whatever.
Okay. What is this? So I accidentally typed in the coupon code number 1 instead of MKGA3, and it tried to generate a $10 code, but then gave me an error saying Chanman V must be a player in the bounty to use this coupon. So somewhere in Matcherino, at some point in its history, there's a tournament that had Chanman in it. That to donate $10, you use the code number 1, like just literally the number 1 on its own. That's so just... I don't even... Okay, anyways. I just donated the initial $100 BaseTradeTV puts in each of these cups. So now it looks a little bit better than $16 in the prize. But we're up to $116. Awesome. We'll see that increase hopefully throughout the course of the day. We've had 2 of these tournaments so far. And both times we've managed to get up to $423. I'd love to be able to do that again. A big part of it is you guys helping us out with those coupon codes. So do it whilst you can. Other than that, while we wait for this game to get going and we look for KeeN, I do want to give a big thank you to Splat101. He subbed 4 hours ago. Paul SS2 subbed 5 hours ago. And apparently Amanthe was crazy enough to subscribe while I was doing co-op the other day. So thank you very much. This is a blanket to those people who, I guess, are crazy enough to keep subscribing even when we're not live with content.
Crazy.
Yo, so I have been playing the hell out of Stukov, right?
Okay.
I have never loved a co-op commander as much as I love Stukov. I thought he was going to be like, whatever, roll my eyes, he's just stupid, right? No. Oh man, Zombie Grove. I seriously love Stukov.
Okay, why do you love him?
You can do so many stupid things, and you can literally break the game with him, which is what I really enjoy. Do you remember a match a little while ago? It was Petraeus and some other guy, and the Broodlord versus Broodlord ZVZ ended up spawning so many broodlings that things started bugging out, and spore crawlers looked different because they couldn't burrow and create new models, and the game was maxed out.
You told me about it.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you cast that with me, didn't you?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, turns out with Stukov, if you do things just right, you can make that happen in co-op. So the enemy waves don't spawn, your eggs stop spawning. Just kinda, you hit map limits. Can't do that with other commanders. Then the other beautiful thing was, of course, my my cameo on the front page of Starcraft Reddit. No big deal, guys. Did you get to see that clip?
I saw that.
Yeah.
I did. Well, I didn't see the clip.
Oh. The clip was like the best part, man. So Stukov's command centers don't lift off and float. They uproot and crawl. Like they have a massive like bottom of a spine crawler as their model for the legs. So while they're waddling around the map and look all weird and silly, if you chrono boost it, they waddle really fast. Then you could use Alarak's overcharge on any building, right? So I basically had 2 uprooted command centers following around my allies' Alarak, and he would just overcharge them on a whim.
Well, that's...
Also, they gave Stukov an ability to infest the building with the idea, I think it was a defensive or offensive cooldown, but not supposed to be used on mobile moving buildings. So again, all these things combined made for a great experience. I also want to give a quick thank you to Jumper Legs and Marish before we get going with today. They both support my Patreon, and I'm trying to get back to doing shoutouts properly, so they're the only ones who have replied to the new thread. I know, first new post in like a year. I'm trying to get this Patreon thing cleaned up, so thank you guys for supporting me. Those who haven't seen it, and you are part of my Patreon list, go get on that list. I'm going to shout these people out at the beginning or the end of every stream, best I can. But we finally have TAiLS with us.
Yeah, he's just like in the lobby suddenly. Okay.
Yeah, that's literally just like magic. Poof, he's here. But this is great because the countdown begins and we get to get into the matches. Of course, I love you, Corsair, but you need to get off the screen, you hogs. This is going to be for Matcherino today.
Quite. Unfortunately, it looks like Classic got the times wrong. Classic.
Oh no. So do you have to forfeit? Oh.
Oh, I just didn't check in.
Okay, first off, races are wrong, so we're gonna fix that. But secondly,
Yeah.
in-game client, why are their names in Korean when their names are definitely not in Korean in the lobby? Oh, this is
Because apparently it's gonna show up like it is in chat. Apparently.
But it says KeeN and TAiLS. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to title T up some player overlays. Oh, Classic's like in chat right now. It feels bad, man.
I know.
There's nothing we can do though.
I don't know how I got 8:10 though. Like I don't even see where it would be 10 minutes after the hour.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
I mean, if you're late, you're late, and sadly, there's nothing we can do about that. I really would love to have had Classic play, but brackets already begun. I guess the only exception would have maybe been that walkover from earlier, but it's already too late because the guy advanced to play against Scarlet.
No, 7X Control is actually not even here either.
Oh, well, this is where we screw Scarlet over by injecting Classic in that spot. No, I'll leave it to the discretion of Olivia. She's adminning today, guys. Holy moly knows her way around the block. I'll get these names fixed up on the overlay in just a moment. Before I do, though, let's get these intros done. Oh, my God. Messin, by the way, just dropped a 100 bomb on the prize pool. So with the 200 possible codes still available for Matcherino, plus the $100 he just contributed, and $100 we started with, that makes today's total prize pool well worth over $400, as long as we use up all those codes, guys. So hop over to Matcherino, use code MKGA3, and let's pump that up. But Messin, man, $101. Thank you so very much.
That's impressive.
It really is. But to kick off, make Korea great again. In the top right, it's going to be the blue Terran player. Oh, gosh. KeeN!
Okay, in the bottom left, as the red Protoss, he is TAiLS.
So, let me just say real quick, Zombrigub, I missed you. It was great casting IM. I hope you guys got to catch those games, but we're going to have some awesome games here that I think are... Again, looking at some of the potential matchups coming, maybe going to rival it, but you know what we're going to do that's so much better?
What?
Not split our semifinals and finals up over 3 days.
Oh my god. That's genius.
I can't believe... I didn't get to see it because I was sleeping for this, but did you get to see the Dark Innovation series, I guess?
No. Okay, so my story for today has been hung out with friends, which is all nice and good. And then we specifically planned on leaving at like around 2 p.m. to get to the venue at 3 p.m. because like an hour train ride.
Yeah.
We literally are on the train. We say goodbye to Scarlet, who like is gonna go back home. She's feeling sick and stuff.
Plus
And
play
then-
the tournament. Hi.
Well, this was 6 hours ago. So
Okay.
yeah, totally. And literally like 15 minutes into our train ride, I look on Twitter and they're like, Dark Innovation has begun, game number 1's already underway, and we're like, well, what the shit? So apparently Annie had gotten the time wrong, so we just like hopped off the train, hopped on the train back, and went shopping the rest of the day.
Oh.
We were supposed to be there live.
Well, I mean, you could have at least watched from your phone or something. I don't know.
Well, we ended up going to PC Bong and watching it, which wasn't
Oh,
bad.
Okay.
So it's
Well,
also like the last 2 games.
I didn't get to see any of it, so no spoileriness, please. But it's so strange that they do get like that. Sorry to hear about your plans falling through, though. That kind of sucks, because I know that you had mentioned wanting to see some of the Starcraft. But anyways, one of the great things about when we got to cast IM for the brackets and things was, I know that, for example, we got Zest here today. He plays the winner of this series, which is something we set up very much intentionally, I guess, as far as following the players. And I was so
Totally.
I talked about Pig, the whole offline online dynamic.
You have. Does the Marine show up for you?
Yeah, no, that was weird. I saw a blue little bar in the production tab. That's gonna be. Oh, there
Oh.
it is again.
Oh. Oh.
Uh, great patch, Blizzard. 10 out of 10.
A plus. A plus. It's also the reason I couldn't play Starcraft on PC.
Okay, well, I'll talk more on this because this is actually a bug that people will be confused over seeing. But the thing I was gonna say is, with Zest specifically as well, I brought up the whole thing about how we've been playing on our cups and it's like online versus offline performance. Man, oh man, Zest gave us the show of a lifetime. He could lose every online cup in the next like 4 months straight, and I will never doubt his power again. Watching him play for the IEM group stage and having the honor of casting it live was so sick. Like, these guys absolutely have a different attitude offline than they do online, and it shows through so hardcore.
Oh, I'm sorry I missed it.
Dude, actually, I will spoil this much. Game number 1 in the Zest Linux series ended in an epic base trade on Whirlwind that came down to literally like 3 Stalkers versus like a Broodlord, a couple of Viper. Like, it was just so close. It was so ridiculous. Anyways, Medevac coming in with those Widow Mines, looking to hit KeeN. Or sorry, excuse me, looking to hit TAiLS coming from KeeN. Oh, it's so weird.
It's so confusing with, like, you know, different races.
Well, you know what? I didn't realize this now. My brain apparently reads the overlay a lot more, but...
Oh, that could have been
that could have been so bad. He's going to try and get the Widow Mines out. Does actually get both of them out of there alive and keeps the Medevac up. That's really nice. Reaper also going to hop through to the main, confirm what's been thrown down over here. He sees no Dark Shrine, backs away. He didn't quite get to see this back part, so he might burn a scan a little bit later, but he got a nice peek with that Reaper and even kept him alive.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess the Marine's just going to be blue. That's,
I'm wondering how many other things like that may pop up today.
Oh, I'm sure there's going to be at least one more. That's just the way with the Blizzard patch in it. Anyway. So, what was I going to bring up when you were talking about that? Shit.
Okay, well,
I don't remember.
Well, you think out loud, apparently. The Robo coming down is going to lead towards what I'm imagining is Colossus. We only really see Disruptors when they're pushed out super, super early, so I think this is looking to be a pretty standard TvP from TAiLS side of things. KeeN, though, has been quite the uppity guy lately. He's been looking better when we see him play. I don't think he's so scared of Protoss like he used to be. This, I don't think, is going to phase him too badly. I do love that he went for like 1 tank, by the way. He wasn't sure what he scattered earlier, so just kind of played it cool, kept it safe in the main, but as we can see, now starting to transfer everything over.
That's a pretty obvious, like, safety tank. Like, okay, well, he might have done something, but he did see the robotics bay, and I guess the chances it would have been a disruptor drop is still there. Like, you're right, it's usually like super, super quick that it's a disruptor drop. Otherwise, it is just like this newer way to play against Protoss and Legacy of the Void, which is a slow build-up of Colossus. It kind of sucks for TAiLS, I would say, because he probably could have gone for a much earlier Nexus. He got his at, like, 6 minutes opposed to like 5 minutes, or even like 4:30, which is some of the other timings you would get. But he is getting a double forge, so while he's initially going to be behind upgrades, he's going to really quickly catch up.
Yeah, and sorry, to clarify for some folks, you've probably seen a couple, if you've been on Reddit, you've seen people posting these pictures. This weird graphic bug in the overlay, I guess we'll try and draw more attention when it's actually building. It won't come up over all units, but there also doesn't seem to be any consistency over which things, like even some upgrades are getting, we'll call it blue boxed out. It's just an error with the patch. It's nothing to do with the overlay. Oh, so I'm going to select all the Marines and the Medevac in the control group real quick.
Oh, I did see this.
I haven't seen this part of it.
Someone tweeted, and they were like, is anyone else getting this bug? Stasia, like, made a joke tweet back.
Amazing.
Yeah, okay, well then. It apparently also happens when you're playing, is I guess the bigger deal. Amazing.
Of course, Adepts on hold position don't have the range to actually shoot Marines back. Don't get to see that dynamic too often. A lot of Stalkers made to go with this Colossus. I mean, there's going to be attempts at pickoffs, whether it's sniping off the Medevac, whether it's diving for the Vikings. We do already have that second starport finishing up, and looks like a reactor already ready for it to go. I gotta say though, I'm curious on this. Oh, there we go, fusion core now coming down. Not so much for battlecruisers, obviously, but we've been seeing a pretty interesting switch where people are putting a lot more emphasis in the Liberators and a lot less in the Vikings, What am I looking for? A good shot. Looks like it's going to get it. 4 probes go down. Not too bad.
Yeah, as far as the Viking versus Liberator thing, it does seem that a lot more, I guess at least especially the Korean Terrans, but no, actually all the European ones too. Yeah, there's a lot of people are definitely going for the faster Liberators, and then maybe, but maybe not even, swapping over into those Vikings. You still occasionally see 1 or 2 Terrans just go straight Vikings, and even add on Ghosts, like very hard to the swarm, just to get to that in-game composition as quick as possible. But especially KeeN, who like, I feel like the last time we cast him, he was also a little bit defensive, kind of almost like it looked like he was a bit nervous against Protoss. It's a way to play, and it doesn't necessarily mean they don't like the matchup, but for me, I've always gotten the feeling that KeeN is just a little bit scared of Protoss. You know, like if he knows he's gonna win against the Protoss, like if he knows he's just like better than the other Protoss, he'll do like the drop style. He'll like be poking and prodding. But if he feels any threat from a Protoss, that's like really good. And TAiLS has been pretty good lately. It seems he just like plays very defensive and goes for Liberators. So who knows?
Well, just on that note too, I want to point out that's kind of where I guess I made the uppity joke earlier. I bring up again where, yeah, some of the best Terran players that are really fun to watch, KeeN, Ryong, even Beyond to a lesser extent, they very clearly don't love TvP for a lot of very fair and different reasons. But that's why I say the last few times we've seen KeeN, okay, maybe sometimes he looks a little bit scared, but even then he'll still come out winning because he played that right style. I mean, Liberator range is almost done. There's certainly a lot of Stalkers, but there's no Tempest yet. The Stargate's only just beginning, so these Liberators don't really have anything to oppose them for at least another 3 to 5 minutes. 1 Tempest, that's not going to do enough. You're going to really need 3 to 5 to push this back.
Yeah. But it is important that both of them acknowledge where this game is going. I mean, if the Protoss gets past 2 Colossus, it does seem to force even the more aggressive Terrans to just say, okay, I guess I can't do very much. Because if they get to 3 and 4 and you're not ready to take a fight, then you're not going to be pushing the issue. So especially as we see Double Forge finishing up the upgrades, a lot of Colossus on the way, and KeeN going for a 4th base. They both acknowledge kind of like, okay, we might poke and prod and maybe see opportunities, but I don't think they've actually been going for like huge moves. But you know, apparently KeeN is going to try. He does see that the army's out of position. He's going to try and protect these medevacs as he drops in with 4 Liberators. Sometimes it's like severely backfires. Sometimes it's fantastic and you get all the production. That's like a huge pylon snipe right there.
Yeah, 3 of the gateways going down.
Going first. No. Oh my god,
okay,
what is this?
so
okay, well, there we go.
I mean, we've heard about people throwing a game before. I've never heard about anyone walking a game before. That was
so bad.
That was devastating. There's 3 Colossus went down. There should have been no Colossus going down.
What I feel what happened was that he thought he probably tried to micro the Colossus kind of around the Nexus, and they just were like, no. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Because he obviously saw what the Liberator circles were, and he had his Stalkers with his army. That seemed more like a pathing issue of dumb Colossus, but damn, that was a huge mistake. He has to now restart his Colossus count, because you want to have at least 4 if you're going to go Colossus. There's not really any fake 1 Colossus with no thermal lance like there was in Heart of the Swarm. If that's the case, then he also, he can't get to the Tempest fast enough. Liber's going to be a bigger problem. I didn't even notice he had yet to get a Twilight Council. That's pretty bizarre, actually, because even if you're playing that like straight to late game, like I'm just gonna get Colossus and Tempest and like kind of move my way through, even then you usually have Blink. But he doesn't have anything. He doesn't have Resident Glaive. He doesn't. Oh no, he already got it. Oh, he remade it. Oh, thank God. I feel like I've been away for so long. But yeah, he does have Blink, and he has Resident Glaives. But that's a reset of the Colossus count. Back down to 3 here, and Vikings just. I guess there's not a lot of them, but there are a ton of Marauders, and they're chewing through the Stalkers.
Yeah, I mean, the blink forward to dive, take out those Liberators, it was a nice one, but as we see, the army value out of KeeN's just a little too much, and I would say a big part of this has to do with those Colossus missing. This fight went pretty well with only 2 Colossus. This would have gone amazing with 4 to 5.
Yeah, KeeN actually still has a really great supply, even though he is being pushed back here. I mean, but yeah, that 4 or 5 Colossus, or 4 Colossus and maybe already on your way to Tempest, so he didn't have to take the fight when he did. Like, either way, would have looked a lot better. But yeah, TAiLS, he certainly messed up, and I think he knew it too. Maybe hoping to just catch KeeN by surprise by moving in like that, or just maybe figuring that was the only chance he had to save his 4th base, which he technically did. He might be able to get some probes over there now, but it's not safe for very long. Or his main base is going to get sniped again. Perhaps his Twilight Council again.
Well, Medevac's
This
gonna run. Does
exact
that
same
mean?
place.
I like that liberated landing zone, but the overcharges are still dealing a ton of damage. Marauder pick up micro out of KeeN's pretty nice though. Keeps it alive, needs that bonus damage versus armor to tear down those buildings. But gets a gateway and flies on out of there. We got a push going down through the middle of the map too. Liberators are going to take care of a good chunk of the stalkers before finally getting cleaned up. That opens the door to go back towards the main. KeeN realizes this and reroutes one of his medevacs right back in.
Yeah.
Nexus in the middle looks like it's going to get sniped. Colossus can't really push forward. Not with the Vikings pushing it out like this. But at the same time, TAiLS doesn't have a lot of options. He doesn't want to lose this base.
Oh, the Colossus. I guess they're going to go down either way, to Vikings or to Marauders, but GG.
Also, there's a little bit of
2-1. What?
Huh?
I guess the Hangul doesn't work on the
player
victory screen?
2-1, yeah.
Okay.
I thought this was a bit of trolling, but looks like there's just a bit of delay. I gotta give an apology, but also a thank you to Slayer85, who just donated $51 to the prize pool. Says, love the games these guys do. But I just want to clarify this before we get to the next game. Because he had brought this up, and this was a fair point in chat, where he said, I tried to log in as a guest and donate, but it didn't work. And to my response to chat was like, you know, don't troll around, man. There's no such thing as like a guest login account, because there's not. You log in with your Twitch account, you donate after then with the coupon code MKGA3, all that sort of stuff. But looks like there was just a small hiccup. So my apologies, dear friend, and thank you for your generosity. The players will certainly appreciate it. Plus, again, we still have like 150 Matcherino codes. That means today's tournament prize pool is going to be close to $500 if we use up every single code. That's going to be phenomenal. And with players like Scarlet showing up for the foreign representation here is the in the tournament. Solar is like really great Zerg players. Zest is really great Protoss player. You've got a lot. You've got Jakshi. You got a lot of players who can appreciate this money. And of course, top 4 get paid out from this tournament.
Yeah. It took me a little while to find TAiLS.
I don't know who he is. I don't think he's in the channel.
He's not in the channel. No, he actually did join the channel, but he's in Hangul. I think it's his real name.
Oh, you know, do we have match history disabled?
Yeah.
Damn, never mind then. So try
Well, I found him. It just took
Oh.
me a little while. But he's in the chat now. And I think KeeN is still on the one that he made. So you
Wait.
can join off me now.
Oh, I see. We're both in the row. Okay.
Yeah. That one didn't have a mod.
Nice.
You want a mod, don't you?
I wonder if the mods. Well, no, I was gonna say. I wonder if the mods that's making it show up blue, but it's actually happening to people in game while playing, where you can't have mods.
Yeah. Because I assume that was what the tweet was about. Ready?
Okay. Yeah, we're in the lobby for game number 2. It's Overgrowth. I've just realized.
What?
Why is the stream at 30 FPS? It should be at 60. Okay, here's the plan,
Oh.
guys. Here's the game plan. I'm going to put a straw poll in chat. If you guys think 30 FPS is acceptable, let me know. We'll just not restart the stream. If you guys want 60 FPS real bad, let me know. This has very little to do... Oh, man, I'm going to hate that this is backwards on the overlay, but I don't want to move the names around again. This has little to do with laziness, but the fact that we're on the front page of Twitch, and I don't know if it gets bugged out. Restart the stream or not. So one way or the other, we'll get it sorted after the series is done. I would like to thank you guys for joining us for Make Korea Great Again. Game number 2 in the first best of 3 of the day. Type ! brackets if you're here live with us in chat to get a link to the brackets, ! Matcherino to check out the prize pool for the players today. And a quick reminder that thanks to Matcherino and their partnership with us, 100% of the money on that page, excuse me, goes towards the players. So if you donate $1, Matcherino's not going to be taking a cut of that dollar. Every single dollar, every single penny is going to the players today. So kicking it off here in the top right side, we got the blue Protoss player. He's down a game currently. It's TAiLS.
In the bottom left is the red Terran. He is KeeN.
So KeeN, not looking good versus bad in that last game, because, you know, a lot of the judgment goes down to TAiLS, but I hope that this is not just TAiLS making mistakes, but KeeN playing really well. Because quick reminder to everybody, the winner of this series plays against Zest. And what's really unfortunate for TAiLS being down 1 in this is apparently TAiLS is a PvP god right now, and might actually have given Zest a run for his money.
Yeah, that plus I think like Zest might actually just be in like a rut against Protoss.
Maybe this is where I go back to just.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I said Zest. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for making that awkward. I was just gonna say though, Zest again though, watching him play IEM live. Okay, there weren't PvPs over there, but I'm so convinced right now that PvP is not exactly a matchup that I think is determined by a player's skill a whole hell of a lot. Watching the random outcomes and the inconsistent victories from a lot of these guys, as the Marine bugged out again. I think even the best players are still going to lose PvPs to people you wouldn't expect. Just it's the nature of the matchup right now.
I don't know if I agree with that. I just literally don't. Like PvP is still a matchup we don't get to see too often. We had the 3 in a row with TAiLS, which was pretty cool, and then we had one specifically made with like Mana a couple times, but I don't know. We'll get to that bridge if we actually get to it, I suppose. We'll cross it if we get to it. As it doesn't look like TAiLS is doing too hot in the beginning stage of this tournament. I mean, that Colossus mishap, again, like it looked to me more... Because, like, I mean, the only reason he would think it would have been a good idea is if he was literally thinking about getting rid of the bio first, which is possible, but that's like such a big mistake to make. It really looked more like it was just a SimCity issue, or his Colossus derped out. But if it happens again, because KeeN will probably try that same trick.
Well,
I mean, you scan the army, you see it's all in one place. I think almost every Terran's gonna try it.
The Colossus, I'm still like so not convinced this Colossus derping out though. Like, if there's just Colossus like move commanding into the Liberators, maybe that's the derp, the AI messing up a bit. But the fact that he was in range of the Marauders and not attack moving, like that's a whole nother problem.
Well, that's why I think it was like shift queued around the Nexus, because he wanted only his Colossus to be in the range of the bio.
We'd have to go back and check. Either way, fingers crossed that no mistakes happen. Either way, you want to see the best that TAiLS has to offer, and he's going to have a pretty tough time. This is a pretty aggressive push. The SCV was kept here, I think, to do a little bit of repair action. He's going to elevator everything up to the main. This isn't going to get scouted right away, and this is actually a really cool attack out of KeeN.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, there's no pylon on the front side of this either.
Oh, there's only one powering everything again, too. At least we'll have an observer unless it gets sniped.
You know, the little SCV repair going on between us two is going to be really nice. Not even just for the Cyclone, but also for the medevac.
Oh, no, the militia. That was a little bit scary, but it would only be one pylon. That pylon's powering everything. Like, it might have been worth trying to snipe, but now just taking on the stalkers.
Nice, pick up micro out of KeeN.
So bad to deal with.
Of course, the SCV repairs the medevac, that medevac heals the SCV. It's a symbiotic relationship between the two.
Is that a Liberator going to the left side as well? I think it is. Hopefully the militia corps in position. Yeah, the pylons are actually really well placed in the natural, just not so much in the main base.
He could have totally he had room for that SCV. That's what feels the worst part about this.
Why? Oh well. I guess he just figured it would have died. Liberator is pushed off too, so at the end of the day, TAiLS didn't do so bad there, but it certainly was a scary moment when you saw that pylon was the only thing that it was powering everything, first of all, but it was also just only one pylon. That would have been very scary had it been immediately sniped.
Well, as he floats on back home, he's got a lot of healing and repairing to do. He does have a tank and a second tank coming out last time, so KeeN is playing almost exactly the same on the back end of this, which is kind of neat. I like this because it tells me less that he was scared in game number 1 and more that I guess this is just a cautious type of thing to do. I mean, tanks are so good at zoning things out early on. We already know that they've got the range to take on pretty much every unit in the game. But the 70 damage versus armored means stalkers are a no-go, and he did see a lot of stalkers.
Yeah. I guess he's not going to get a third tank. He could still do a push with Stim as combat shield finishes with 2 tanks, and that's still going to be very annoying for TAiLS to deal with, but actually maybe not. So TAiLS takes the third base out here, which most Protosses have not been doing.
No.
They haven't taken one where the stalkers are right now.
Well, I mean, the reason I think a lot of people in general avoid this, not just Protoss exclusively, is like this Like, you drop the Marines back here, oh, pick up, go to the main. And it's so difficult to walk that army all the way around. Like, this is generic rules of, like, why people don't take these thirds in these particular locations. But we'll see if this ends up hurting or not. I gotta give a big thank you to Incorruptible Lizard, by the way. He says, everybody say... Dude, this guy always says this. Everybody must say cheese.
Cheese.
Donated $26 to the prize pool. Thank you for your generosity, dude. Up to $327 raised with over 100 Matcherino codes still left over. Today's going to be a huge payout for the players.
That was pretty quick. Well, I like the position that TAiLS has taken, just if he is mostly worried about that tank liberator push, because basically positional push, I guess, is what you can call it. Like, if the scan goes down, because of course KeeN, like, first of all, wants to make sure he's getting a third in general, but also really wanted to see that the third was up there.
But so that's the problem, though, right? He doesn't scout that. He's already playing a little bit on the safe side. Doesn't know about this third. The scan sees nothing up here, and he's going to be thinking, well, that's a 2-base all-in.
Yeah, he does have very limited map vision. Like, he doesn't even have the Xel'Nagas right now. So that is probably a little bit scary for him. I think he is thinking of the possibility of the right side. He has a Marine, actually, like, very much so skirting the outer edges. He only sees Stalkers so far, too. The Colossus aren't, like, right in his face, which... If TAiLS had done that, if TAiLS had pushed out with his Colossus and just started, you know, attacking into the supply depots, KeeN would have been too scared to kind of call that, you know, almost bluff and never check the third base. But he does. He sees, you know, the Colossus, checks the third, and now knows that the third is at least taken, but it still doesn't give you this nice position like the other third does. For the Terran, your tanks don't have, like, a nice little ledge to go up against that shoots the Nexus. The Liberator, same deal. It's a pretty wide open concave for the Protoss to defend with, so not that KeeN would necessarily have gone for it, considering how late third base was and how many units TAiLS had. He may have been still too scared, but I think the third base would have been much harder to push into. Okay. I was wondering if TAiLS, seeing that Xel'Naga, actually would have gone for the third base anyway. He goes for the fight.
Ooh,
KeeN is without his tanks or liberators.
I mean, that is a big problem, but now that the liberators and tanks possibly involved with the fight, this is a major shift in balance. I'm actually a little bit concerned. I didn't realize how few medevacs were in play. It's still just the one. So healing up any amount of bio just from its stim, much less actual damage, is going to be very difficult.
Yeah. He's in a very dangerous position right now. He would definitely need to make sure to abuse a little bit of a choke and ideally a bit of a ramp, but the Sensor Tower is not quite up yet. I do like that he's getting it, even if it is a little bit early. I think getting out-positioned by this army is, like, very possible. TAiLS, though, not going to try, especially now that the Sensor Tower is up, I suppose, and just going to go back. I mean, he's on his way to a Dark Shrine. He's on his way to 2-2 already, where, of course, KeeN is only just finishing up his 1-1. The most worrying thing about this game for TAiLS, I would say, is definitely, again, those Liberators. Like, we don't know if KeeN's going to get that same drop-in, and ideally he doesn't do the same damage. But he is going to have a lot of Liberators, and TAiLS is going to have to respond to that. Probably not with just mass Stalkers. There's just a certain point the Liberators get too high, you can't deal with Stalkers anymore. Like, when Liberators are like 8+, Stalkers are they're gonna have a tough time dealing with them quick enough. But now, maybe, that's 6 Liberators in a choke. I don't know about that.
I mean, let's not forget, with tanks possibly covering them, Marauders on the backside, Stalkers can't blink underneath this, but still, my concern is that there's only the medevac. We got 2 finally having just been made, but even then 3 medevacs is fairly limited in what he can do.
Ooh, this is super dangerous by KeeN. I mean, he knows he has Xel'Naga, and I assume he's been checking for the observers, but going off to the left with your entire bio army does leave even well-positioned Liberators a little bit defenseless. DTs go in, unfortunately, all at once, and they get immediately scanned. Probably should have tried to split them up initially. So now Missile Turret's going to go down. And TAiLS still has no idea about this push.
You know, the Cyclone's going to go down pretty quick, unfortunately, but it had a lot of damage that it brought before it dying, so certainly contributed to the fight. Adept's going to warp in, but Adepts alone aren't going to be enough. This army coming back home has to deal with this. This is a bit weird.
That was a lot of warp-ins.
It was. KeeN's not well set for this, but he did particularly ignore the Adepts, pick off the Stalkers, so there'd be nothing to shoot him on his way out. Overcharge just barely doesn't kill that medevac. This with that one Stalker's killer. But 5 health remaining, manages to barely escape. Couple Stalkers going to warp in. He doesn't know to the south of him. Actually, if you were to drop this base, there's nothing defending. Not
He
yet, at least.
probably is anticipating, yeah, TAiLS anticipating of that. I think I know what he's thinking. So it is a little bit safer to have the Medivacs there. He should probably pull that weak one back, though. Just saying.
I really like the positioning on this turret, by the way. That DT should have been able to swipe something. Yeah, I heard it try to swipe on death. But the turret's safe behind the depot, so there's no way this accidentally gets sniped off or anybody gets to dive in for it. It's a little annoying, though, because as we can see, everything coming in here is just barely out of range, so that tank not quite covering the SCVs.
Yeah. Even though KeeN got like a decent army trade, killing a bunch of stalkers, forcing all the warpins back at home, I think he really wanted to get the Nexus and just continue rampaging. So I think it was still a lot better. Not a lot better. It was still better for TAiLS. I mean, no, I'll actually say almost a lot better. Yeah, the Viking count's scary. The Liberator count's still scary, but
Yeah.
he does have good upgrades and an army supply lead right now. Not going to use it though. He still really wants to find KeeN without those Liberators pre-sieged.
So, people ask you about the blue square. It is subscriber locked, guys.
Subscriber locked.
You have to subscribe to see the blue square. No, for some reason, a couple of select units, Zealots, Marines, and others seem to be a little bit bugged with the most recent patch of the game. There is no way for us to remedy this. So, trust that we are going to talk about it if it's something important. But because it's just Marine production, we are very much not bringing up the blue square because it's not worth bringing up. However, after seeing so many people confused in chat, I am going to mention it this time.
Just the Marine, apparently.
Well, Zealots
so,
and others, but you don't make Zealots in TvP. What's wrong with you? Or PvP?
Oh, my bad. This is kind of questionable. Oh, whoa.
I don't think those adepts should have transferred through. That must have been a huge mistake out of TAiLS just now. Gives away that army supply. He was doing so good to this point, too. In many instances, being above KeeN in army supply. This, unfortunately, was not one of them. Losing so many adepts right there. That's the buffer for the army. That's the front line of defense going down.
You could see him just be like, okay, this is the point where I'm going to attack. Does it for like 5 seconds, tries to pull back, and probably just doesn't even realize the adepts are still being transferred. That was really bad, especially because he was so close to already getting to his Tempest, and he still knows that KeeN is on 3 bases, like super scared of his army. Now, as you're right, like he doesn't have the fodder, he doesn't have the adepts. He might have a couple of Tempests, but
man,
the ground army with the concave can now deal with everything.
Not to mention the Vikings going to be able to land after Colossus go down. And if you guys don't know, Vikings are real badass versus Protoss on the ground. Tempest does reveal itself, but one Tempest does not an army make, and the Vikings hammer it down. We got a couple of EMPs from these ghosts ready to go too. Pop off on that army. There we go. Take those shields away. Make this an easier fight altogether. Still new Tempest being revealed. The Vikings land, but they deal 20 damage a shot to each of these stalkers.
Yeah. Take out the militia corps too. Why not? Yeah, this is going to be game, but I think TAiLS right now is not just like frustrated that he lost in general, but frustrated that he lost after being in such a good position. It really was another game where one mistake really was what screwed him over.
Yeah. Although this is going to be kind of cool because we're going to find out next, like whether this was entirely the mistake of TAiLS, the cost in the series, or whether it was, the skill of KeeN. As the winner of this does go up against Zest, and I think that's where KeeN's going to get to really test his TvP, to say the least.
Yeah. Yeah, at least he's all warmed up now.
Colossus gets taken down, feels bad. Everything out just dies. Siege tank sits up here in the main, so the stalkers can't even fight any longer. TAiLS is fighting to the last, but GG's get called, and 2, aka KeeN, wins the series. Very nice to see. Yo, who is this? Yo Kuraga says, yo BaseTradeTV, you just gonna let someone else be top D like that? Merry Christmas to all the players, and love to all the chat. Kappa Spamaremos. Yo Kuroga just donated $103 and became the top donor of the prize pool. This is like the Christmas cup that every Korean who didn't sign up for. Classic is gonna be real pissed he didn't check in. Now I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, right. Could have won that much money.
$434 with still literally over 100 coupon codes remaining. If you guys don't know how this works, let me show you before we go off to our first commercial break of the day. If you go to the Matcherino page, !Matcherino in chat, top right here, I'll even sign out so I can show you guys sign in. Ask you to sign in with your Twitch account. Boom, BaseTradeTV signed in. Top side here, you click donate. You type MKGA3 and hit donate. That's it. You don't have to use your PayPal. You don't have to give me your credit card. Nothing like that. Just $1 free from Match Arena as a thank you for using their website. So make sure to check it out. Get in there. Use up those coupon codes. Even if you can't be a big baller like Gil Kuroga, you can still help in your own little, very important way. But with that being said, folks, we are going to go to a commercial break while we set up this next series. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.